Welcome, fellow geeks, to the very first playthrough of a solo RPG on the Level 1 Geek channel. Hello, fellow geeks. I just had to pause this really fast and give you a little update. In the recording you're about to watch, there is unfortunately some terrible technical issue with the sound. There are moments where it stutters and sounds like this. The Skurvatri pirates are a scourge, and then there's times where it's absolutely fine. So I was gonna do a re-record, but then I had a terrible allergic reaction on my face. You can see I'm still pretty puffed up and weird looking there. I'll put a little picture here of what that looked like. And unfortunately, I've run out of time to do a re-record, so I'm just gonna edit it. I'll make it sound as best as I possibly can. I hope you stick with it because this game is just really incredible, and I'd love for you to see what we've got. Please enjoy to the best of your ability. Bye. Y'all know me. My name is M the GM, Anthrama, that nerd. I guessed around on the internet, but you have found me on my home channel. Thank you for joining me on this journey through space. I don't play a ton of solo RPGs, just because I love all types and I spend most of my time playing with other people. But what I like about them and what I look for in a solo RPG is really just what kind of story does it help me tell? What kind of journey is it going to take me on? And I gotta be real, this journey looks pretty sick. Let me go ahead and just tell you a little bit about the game. Here's their little introduction. You are the last living human in the galaxy. Humanity is extinct as far as you know. No one is coming. The stars have grown quiet. The fission engines have cooled. The rage and death have ended. No more monuments will be built. No more songs will be sung. No more joy or sorrow. Now, when you die, it all ends. But you weren't dead yet. Until that day, you continue to hope, pressing forward against the quiet blackness of space. Maybe there's a colony ship out there. Maybe there's a stasis pod to be found. Maybe there's a gene factory to be reactivated. Something. Anything. There must be. It doesn't end like this. That's like the intro to the concept of the game. We're gonna be alone in space. We're the last living person, and it's kind of intense, honestly. The content warning at the beginning of the game is actually really helpful, so I'll go ahead and put that here as well, because you're going to be watching my playthrough and I'm going to try and really tap into the heart and soul of this story. Cyan Starlight deals with loneliness, abandonment, emotional and physical trauma, harm, and in one specific instance, potential suicide. Please be kind to yourself. So, if that type of journey does not sound like your jam, I'm going to pause here, allow you a moment to find the exit button, because we want our channel to be somewhere where you can feel safe. But if that sounds like a good time to you, or like maybe this story would mean something to you, please stick around and we'll discover it together. Let's go ahead and dive into the very start of our actual play. Okay. You are the last survivor of humanity. You have awoken, either from stasis, deep sleep, or some other suspended animation, only to find yourself alone. You only have your ship and gear to depend on. The stars around you are bathed in pale cyan light, the pitch black void awash with the faint echoes of whatever dyed the fabric of space this color. All of your comms, messages, and hails are unanswered. No matter what you say or where you try to say it, you go unheard, unacknowledged, unperceived, and unattended to. Every technology you find is dormant. Every colony, starship, ship, or planet you pass is desolate, empty, and tinted blue. Your sensors constantly sense some level of background radiation, something the sensors can't quite parse or analyze, something unusual, something new. And so you resolve to explore the stars to try and uncover why you are the only living being you've encountered. You know that there are others out there, you see alien ships and faintly pick up their transmissions, but alone, unsupplied, and abandoned, you fear to reach out to them. After all, what if they are hostile? What if they are the reason the stars seem shifted and humanity seems dead? What if this sterile frontier you find yourself in is because of them? Or worse, what if it is because of humanity? What if you did this with the same carefree hubris, anger, and short-sighted greed that has marred your species' history? Humanity destroyed themselves. We have to find some answers. We have to find something, and perhaps find the secret of this Cyan Starlight. Okay, that's our task. Pretty intense. We are playing Gray today. Gray Yabara, who was previously an engineer. I happen to love Wash from Firefly, so I'm repping the Hawaiian shirt in hopes that we can keep our hope up, actually, throughout this journey. Okay, our ship is the Solitude frame. It is this fast runner. There's actually a cool little description here. Let me pull that up. The fast courier frame, perfect for carrying messages, zipping through space, and smuggling goods. So our weapons, our computer, and our supplies are not the best. However, we have a great engine to get us from point A to point B, and our sensors are pretty good. So hopefully this will be a good ship for us. I think that Gray probably wakes up in a stasis pod on her ship. The glass around her is fogged. She starts coughing as her lungs feel stiff and ill-used. And her hands push against the glass frame around her until it lifts up with a hiss and slides down. Rolling herself out of this stasis pod, she drops with a couple feet to the floor and coughs and manages to look around eventually to see a ship that is very quiet. Making her way to the cockpit, she taps along in her computers, sends out a wave requesting an update. There's no one that answers her.
This is the Solitude.
Her messages go again and again, and each time is met with silence and static.
Is there anyone?
There's probably a moment of panic.
This is the Solitude.
Confusion, mapping out her sensors as far as she can. The stars probably don't even feel like they're in the right place. As she's been unconscious for so long. Okay, let's go ahead and catch up on our exploration log. Gray awoke alone. No one answers her waves. And so she determines to travel to the closest planet in search of answers. All right, let's go ahead and find out what the closest planet is going to be like. So we'll roll a d8. A 7. All right, a desert planet. Let's check out what the danger level of this planet will be. I rolled too many, but the first one was a 4, and we can use that 8 as well. So the 4 is that this is a perilous location, and it is indeed occupied. Yikes. Okay. Now we have to see how... Well, that could be good. Occupied could be good. Let's see how hard it is going to be to travel to this location. Flight table, 2d6. Rolling. All right, we have a 7. A 7 is potentially dangerous, which means we need to make a risky engine check. Since our engine is a 10, a D10, we'll roll that. An 8 is a full success. We do not have to make any additional costs because we have flown ourselves and Celerity smoothly through the journey that was ahead. We arrive. Now we're at the location. We see this planet. It's probably, it's desert, but let's make it fun. Let's say that the sand is like purple, right? And there's like green clouds that kind of hover around, like neon green. And let's go ahead and scan because we know it's occupied. Let's see who's here. We have to start with the occupied table, which is another D8. A 3. It is occupied by security systems. Let's see if there's anything else there. And nothing else. So let's make a little note. We need to name this planet just in case we want to come back. Let's just go down this. Alpha 1. Desert. Perilous. Occupied by security systems. All right, what else do we need to find out if it's here? Let's roll a scan check. 2d10. Doot. All right, we have a 6 and an 8 for a total of 14. And unfortunately, there is nothing here besides this desert and the security system that is patrolling and scanning the sand. Something must have been here one time for this security system to exist, but apparently it's no longer here. Gray has to choose, well, do I land and look through this, or do I just continue onwards? I don't think there's anything to discover if there's nothing else here. So let's just go here. Nothing else here. Let's pay a resource and continue onwards. So generally speaking, the resources are empty, and then you fill them up for the speed of the stream. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. So I'm gonna say we used up some rations. Pew! That's it. We used up rations, so we spent time here. So we flew in, scanned, and now we're gonna go ahead, hit our engine one more time and head to the next closest planet, which we'll figure out what that's like. Maybe I should add something to my exploration log. Just deciding to move on was easy. There's nothing we need here. Whether that be resources or answers. Time to move on. Grace slumps over in her chair for a minute, staring at these sensors, giving her answers she doesn't want to see, and with a sigh, plots her next course. Let's find out what our next location's gonna be like. Here we go. Oh, you know what's the worst thing I have to do? I have to lower the quality of our engine because we flew. So instead of a D10, it's gonna degrade to a D8 until we decide to pause and make that better. So we're at a D8 for our next roll. All right, location. I don't know if I rolled the D8 and I just didn't see it. I'm gonna roll again. We got a 5, which means if this is an industrial place. Interesting. Let's see the danger level of where we're going. A 6, which is risky. Not bad, not bad. And let's find out if it's occupied. 4, yes. So, let's call this Beta 1, in case we loop the alphabet. Beta 1 is a industrial, risky occupied. We have to fly there to find out what it's occupied by. So let's go ahead and travel. 2d6 to determine how dangerous our trip is. 4 is perilous, incredible. We are gonna make her engine check and hope against hope that we can get a 5 or higher. And we got a 4. Okay, that's fine. We're not sad about that at all. All right, so if we did that, let's go ahead and go to our next handy dandy little tool. What is the cost? This was risky. We're gonna go ahead and check one resource to get here. So let's see, it was risky to get this industrial place. Let's say that when we entered into this atmosphere, since it was industrial, there were so many satellites, it started like pinging off of the hole, and we will lose one structure as we take some damage getting in. All right, danger-esque. But we're here. Let's go ahead and scan it. 2d10. So we got double nothing for this. Let's at least discover where it's occupied, who it's occupied by. D8. Roll 1. Roll the other. 1. And it's occupied by bugs and rogue drones. Okay. That sounds bad. Arrived. There what? Scan revealed. Bugs. Rogue drones and nothing else. These tall industrial buildings probably have just like bugs crawling on the inside, just big hives. The drones patrolling the streets, being jumped by these horrific looking creatures every now and then and pulled apart. There is no reason to stop here. No reason to stop at this planet. Bray takes a moment to just stand up, pace the length of her ship a few times. She's starting to get like just claustrophobic almost inside of her ship. She hasn't been on ground. She doesn't know what's going on. Everything is stressful. But she's not landing here for no good reason. Time to move on. Time to move on. She types into her record and just continues onward. Let's go ahead and let's spend a resource to continue. What do we want to spend this time? I'm gonna spend fuel. We haven't stopped to refuel in some time, so that seems realistic. Oh, we're starting to miss something of everything. That's stressful. And our engines degrade once again. There's D6. We're gonna have to stop eventually. Can I type a 6? Apparently not. There we go. Okay. Let's find out where we're going. A D8. 3 times. 1 is a 4. A 4 is urbanized. A 7 is its standard danger, which is pretty great. And then 4 is it is occupied. Okay, urbanized, standard danger. What is Charlie? 1. Urbanized. Standard. Danger. Occupied. Let's get closer and find out what's here. Flight table. Come on, be kind to me. How dangerous is it for us to get here? That's only potentially dangerous, so let's make our check and see if we make it. We're at D6. A 5 or a 6 would be incredible for us. We did not get a 5 or a 6. So, instead, we will have to pay. That's not what we want. This is what we want. Risky is check 2 resources. Blah. We thought that it wasn't going to be super dangerous. However, it really was. Okay, let's go ahead and pay 2 resources. This place we said was urbanized. All right. I'm gonna say we're gonna check fuel again and rations. Getting here exhausted our fuel. We had to go the long way around. There was an asteroid field that kind of belted this whole place like Saturn, but like in a full circle around it, and just taking the time to navigate through and not take structural damage took so long. So we spent rations, we spent fuel, definitely a little fried on the nerves. We have to do a scan and pray there is some stuff here for us. Oh, come on, scan. Let's do this. The 2d10 on each side. Okay, 1, 2. That is a 9 and a 6 for 15. A 15 is nothing. 15 is nothing all around, actually, because the bar goes all the way across. So I don't even think we get the other one. We're gonna roll it anyways, just in case I'm wrong. And an 8. A lucky resource cache. Thank goodness. We need that. Occupied, lucky resource cache. So we need to deal with the occupied. Let's check what that is. Please don't be horrible. Please don't be horrible. D8, rolling twice. First one is a 6. Second one is a 5. Pirates and rogue drones. Okay, let's put that by occupied. Skirvatry pirates and rogue drones. I think we should read about what Skirvatry pirates and rogue drones are like. Drifting from system to system in hulking and bolted together starships, the Skirvatry pirates are a scourge in the tradeways and stellar space lanes. Unlike the other threats, the Skirvatry pirates are only encountered while not planet-side. Oh, so this is before we land, we have to deal with them. Yikes. Whenever you enter a hazardous, potentially dangerous. Okay. If you generate this complication or cost while in the system, the pirates notice you're an attack. While in space, you must pass 2 risky weapon checks to successfully drive them away. If either check generates a cost or complication, the pirates have boarded your ship and you must fight them in a boarding action. This is horrifically dangerous. Okay, so we pull in close. We've navigated through this asteroid belt, and only to discover waiting on the other side are these pirates. Essentially, we are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Okay, so it looks like we're in space. We definitely rolled them to be here. So what we need to actually do is make our 2 risky weapon checks. How is our ship even at risky weapons? Looks like our weapons are a D6. So we need a 5 or a 6. D4. Okay. If either check generates a cost or complication, let's do our risky check. No additional effect. Okay, so we passed our first one. Time for the second. And a 5. Okay. Incredible. So we exit. We see the pirate ship just like all bolted together sitting there, and it's looking at us. We see their weapons start to light up, and Gray panics, grabs onto her controls, and like spins her weapons up and online. There's the high sound as she fires on it, taking out, she misses first off, but they have to dodge out of the way. Then her second one is a strike. Their weapons go offline and they exit. They just leave. We have dealt with the first problem. Okay, let's note this. Pirates dealt with, driven off. Incredible. Cannot believe. We need to reduce our weapons now that we've gone through that problem. Let's go to a D4. Yikes. We're at a D6 with our engine and a D4 there. We need to now deal with the fact that we have rogue drones. Let's read what rogue drones do. Leftover remnants of ancient civilizations, technology, or humanity, rogue drones are found alone in facilities. Rogue drones are generally trying to carry out their last command, usually through corrupted in some form of artificial and digital seniality. They tend to be equipped with weapons that are really tools that reflect their original design. Rogue drones never travel into space, instead remaining only in their location or what they perceive as their mandated operating spaces. Interesting. Okay, so we'll have to go planet side in order to deal with that. I'll start thinking about what sort of problems they have. Let's see. Disembarking. When we decide to disembark, we check one research box and go to planet side. Planet side means we have to overcome our foes. First off, our foe is going to be the rogue drones. What tools do we have to deal with this? We've got the repair kit. Ooh, let's try and fix it. We are hopping out and there is this big rogue drone. It was actually a ship repair drone, and now it is armed with like its big tools that it usually used to piece ships together, and instead it's going to like start tearing my ship apart unless I can repair this thing. So I skid up there. Let's do our repair kit. Rolling a D10. We need a 5 or greater. A 7. All right, let's degrade the repair kit and see what we've got. So that's gonna go to a D8. Pirates driven off. Rogue ship drone. Repair drone was fixed. Engineering background for the win. All right. Let's go ahead and finish our disembark steps. Planet side, we overcame the foe. We had standard difficulty on our location, so I think we're okay on that. We don't have to overcome anything. Let's go straight to our lucky cache. Okay. All right, so we got a lucky resource cache. I'm gonna say that lucky resource cache means that we get to roll on the resource table. However, we don't take any of the complications that come with it. We already dealt with a lot, and it's lucky. So if it's lucky, I really feel like you'd be able to get it. Otherwise, just saying, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and roll ourselves a D20 and find out what we've got. An 18 is 4 resources. Normally you would encounter a complication. However, because this is lucky, we're gonna have no complication and we're gonna get 4 resources back. Let's take a look at what that 1, 2, okay, so we can repair let's do... Ooh, how do we want to do this? Let's do this. We're gonna do this one. I think this is important. One there. Fuel. Let's definitely do rations again. We're at a repair place because this is a repair drone, so it makes sense that we will be able to repair our structure. That will repair our fuel. So I was 1, 2, 3, and then I found 1 ration. So we'll still be down 1 ration. That makes sense to me. Okay, we were able to loot up, resupply. With the way that our ship has become degraded, it almost feels like when we've dealt with all the problems, it feels like this could really potentially be a good place for us to like catch our breath. We'll have to I think we'll get a despair or a stress if we do so. Now, honestly, we went to so many planets and found nothing, and we just got stocked up. It could be a good idea. Let's read the rules on that really fast. Playing the game. Catch your breath. To reset all your attributes to original rating, you can catch your breath. This is a brief break in the tension. Be done at any time. You must roll in the complication table and check a despair. So I think that Gray is going to spend some time here. Gray will mark a despair. Let's put a big ol' X here. Doot, 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 doot. 1 despair. Unfortunate. However, that means that we can reset our stuff. Hull 6 engine will be a D10 again. Oh, thank goodness. Our weapons will go back to a D6. And everything else is still the same. We didn't spend any of these. Our repair kit doesn't get better because it's just our attributes that fix. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and say we need to figure out the next place we're gonna go. We've marked our despair. Gray sat there, spent time refreshing. However, it also gave her time to think about how she hasn't found any answers so far. Yeah, she found some stuff, but stuff isn't really what she needs. What she needs is to have some clue that this time in space isn't a complete waste. That maybe there's some hope. She hasn't found any hope yet. So we've got despair. Oh, that's really rough. Let's go ahead and travel once again. Let's scan for our next let's find our next location. D8. A 1 is a jungle. The next one, we've got another one. It's risky jungle. Great. And 3, it's not occupied. Okay, so we don't have to worry about people there. It's kind of a risky jungleless environment. Gray plugs that into her computer and takes off. Let's see how dangerous our flight is. 2d6, we're at a 3, which means that this is perilous. Okay. Let's go ahead and make our engine check and see if this peril is something we can handle. 5 or greater. 5 or greater. A 6. Okay. So, we're flying, and I'm gonna say that there was an ion storm. There were big clouds full of like electrical charges, and it was sending little skitterings across her ship. But Gray is in the Solitude, which handles so well, and she just was able to navigate between the smallest little gaps in these clouds. Absolutely panicked, but able to make it through. A very tense moment. I should catch up on my notes though. Charlie 1, urbanized, standard, danger, occupied by pirates and rogue drones, but we found a lucky resource cache. We got pirates driven off, the rogue ship repair drone was fixed, scoured for resources, and replenished with what she could find. However, the quiet of the planet was unsettling, and she could feel the despair creeping in. Time to move on. All right, we're gonna go Echo 1. Echo 1, and we're going to go Jungle. Risky. Not occupied. Flight was perilous with an ion storm. Scroll? Okay. Navigated safely through. Let's test let's do a scan now that we're here at planet side. We can see the verdant green of the jungle, humongous trees. I'm gonna say this is actually a very small planet, and they're just like, the trees are so large, they're actually lifting way off into space. And there's even some like broken off like trees and vines that are floating in the atmo. 2d10. 2d10 and combine. So first two. Give me a cool number. A 4? We got a sight! Okay, a sight. 2d10 again. An 18? But it's occupied. We just found... Okay, so just the site is occupied. The planet itself is not infested. However... Alright, so we've got a site that's occupied. Let's go ahead and roll on the site table to see what's here. A D8. A 7. A quiet reserve, peaceful and calm. What is the threat level to enter this site? It's perilous. Great. That makes sense. What does it contain? An archive plus loot plus 2d3 resources. Any rewards on this table is in addition to the standard loot check you get for discovering an archive or a site. Okay, so there's a bunch of steps we have to take here. If we go... Okay, so let's write this down before I forget. Scan revealed. Revealed? Can spell that for a second. A site. A quiet reserve. Peaceful and calm. Perilous. With an archive. Plus... Ooh. Can I do a plus? Plus loot. Plus, let's just go ahead and roll 2d3. Roll. A 1 is 1. Okay, so, and 2 resources. Plus 2 resources. However, this is an addition, so let's go ahead and look at what you get when you go to an archive or a site. Whenever you come across a site or an archive, you may make a loot check to scavenge for tools, weapons, medkits, etc. Be careful what lurks in the shadows. When you do a loot check, roll a d20. Okay, d20. 5. You find a d4 item. And then because of the archive, we're going to get to roll again. Let's roll it. D20. It's a 6. We'll find another d4 item. Plus loot. 1d4. kind of rolled low on that. That's too bad, but oh well. Off 2 through 14 means that most of the time you're going to get a D4 item, which makes sense. It's been out here for a long time. It's probably degraded. But, I need to roll on the archive table because to go into this site, we find an archive. Let's roll a D8. What's in the archive? Okay. Archive. What I roll, a 2? I don't remember what I rolled just now, so I'm going to roll it again. A 1. An AI command core lost to time. What is a threat level to obtain? A 5 is risky. And what is our reward? Another D8. A 7? Loot plus resources. Interesting. Loot plus 1 plus 1d3. I should just roll that. Plus 3 resources. Loot. Let's roll the loot table since I still have it in front of me. A 16. You find a D8. Oh no, I've died a D6 item. Loot 1d6. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. Okay. Dangerous. I like it. However, we've got so many risks about getting in. All right, so we got to the place. We've navigated. We've scanned the site. We scanned the planet, and we've discovered that there is a quiet reserve. If I can spell quiet correctly. Peaceful and calm. However, getting into it is perilous. I'm going to say that this was like an animal reserve, and it's super perilous because there are creatures that have crept out and are now kind of guarding this perimeter. To get in will be extremely dangerous. However, there's an archive in there, an AI command core, which means that maybe I could get some answers about what has happened. Oh, okay. Let's go in. So going planet side, we have to spend some resources. Let's take a look at what our resources are right now. We've got structure, shield, fuel. I'm going to say we're going to do shields. To land. We land, we scrape along all of these branches as we kind of finagle our way to land our ship. The courser sets down and we're planet side. We need to deal with these creatures that are here. I'm gonna say that we are gonna use our assault carbine to like scare them off. So we're coming in, we go with our gun. Let's see what we've got here. D12, we need a 5 or higher. A 6. Okay, so Gray steps off her ship. There is this really intense humidity that immediately washes over her. She can see glowing eyes in the jungle turn and face towards her. There's this weird slithering up in the trees above. She doesn't dare look up, just lets off this big long shot. Her rifle will degrade down a step, down to a D10, but she can successfully enter the site. Passing through the fences, everything is super quiet and peaceful. There's clear running water. She pauses for a moment to just look around and appreciate this. Now we found a site, which means we get to mark a hope. Doot, doot, doot. And this. But we also found an archive. So we can mark that too. All right, so we've got 2 hope. Once we fill up for the 5th hope we get will be an insight to kind of discover what's going on with this place. However, this piece has been wonderful. We go in, we can roll for our common loot. Loot. Or maybe we can just decide. Loot checks. One of them should definitely be Chucky. Chukke. This is a long, outdated starship repair drone. The Chuckies are vocal, annoying, and chirpy. They always want to make you breakfast toast. It's exactly what she needs. Plus, we found the AI command core that was lost to time. We can plug that into Chucky. We can have a little friend. But Chucky's only a D4 item. Absolutely devastating. However, so that was this one. Let's go ahead and do just like a little strike through on this guy that we did this one. Or I can put this in here actually. I can write it in. Chucky. As a D4, we get another piece of loot. Let's say that we get a portable power pack. This is a compact fission reactor. The portable power pack is commonly found in research or field stations. I think that makes sense. It was here for the AI command core. You may reduce its die to increase the die of another gear by 1 size. I'm going to go ahead and use that right now to power Chucky up to be a D6 instead of a D4 and not even add it to my character sheet. Power pack. We're going to go ahead and strike through this. The +2 resources that we're going to get. Let's fill these rations. And let's fill shields. We have fully repaired our ship. We would have gotten more, however, we are well stocked. We have 1 more just straight up loot we get to get. So we're gonna go ahead and roll a D10 to figure out what it is, and we'll go off of what type of dice it has on here. A 4. A 4 is an RARC carbine. It's a D10 item. It is a standard issue for most colonial detachments. It was sturdy, easy to maintain, and relatively good at defense. Relatively. What is cool about this is it makes me think that if we found it somewhere where maybe somebody ended up dying to one of these preserve animals. RC carbine. 1d10. All right, let's make this text a little bit smaller so it fits. Awesome. We've got a gun. So we did this one. RARC carbine. Chucky, 2 resources we used. We got the AI command core, which was lost to time. It was, but it's risky to get to that command core. We have to test that. So can we reach it? I'm going to say that it's like deep in the ground and we actually have to like get up and we have to rappel down into this area and eject it from the computer that it was in. However, we'll get a D6 loot if we do so. I should have made Chucky be the D6 loot. It's fine. We already did it. We could have 2. Let's use our think stat. We're going to go ahead and map it out. We're going to use our brain to like look at this from all angles, know how to set up our ropes, and just successfully get down. We need a 5 or higher. A 2. Great. This was risky, so let's see what kind of cost we had to pay. We're going to risky, roll it, 1 resource. So we lose a resource. I'm going to go ahead and take this resource away. Gray slips on the rope, falls a little ways, and slams into it slams into this big pipe, a big metal rusted pipe. She hits her head. Luckily, though, she had some of the shield juice from her ship that was linked to her space suit or her exploration suit that she was wearing. And there's like this little shimmer as she like pulls a bunch of battery juice from the ship to herself. She groans, shakes her head to clear her mind, and then continues on, carefully extracting this AI core. Luckily, there's 3 resources down here, so we can just add this back. And we get a loot. A loot. We're gonna get a comms upgrade. Comms upgrade. Comm upgrade uses AI programming, which is why I picked it, and projection to improve the ability of a traveler to be understood by those who hear them. Once per explore action, you may re-roll a sway check. 1d6. All right, beautiful. We have absolutely completed this area. A very, very successful way. We're so close to an insight. I kind of want to try one more travel. Let's see it. Let's see what happens. Loot 1d6 was a comms upgrade. Echo 1 was a very good planet. All right. Delta 1. You know, this game is doing like a really excellent job feeling like I am exploring safe, like the space. It feels extraordinarily dangerous to do so. However, like I'm obviously if you have one turn of luck, you can recover very quickly, which is amazing. Though I had to go through so much to get it all. So still keeping that dangerous feeling is really fun for me. All right, Gray, where are we going? Let's find where the next closest planet is. Let's go 1d8. Dice. A 3. This is an ice planet. Oh, that's super different. Okay. Ice. Let's see how dangerous it is. It is. I can't tell if it's a 5 or 6, so I'm rolling again. A 4. It is perilous, of course. Super cold. Is it occupied? Please no. A 5 is no. Ice, perilous, not occupied. All right, let's fly there. She's like, pretty dangerous. However, and she's like talking out loud now because she has Chucky there to like chirp and beat back at her. Little let's go ahead and see what we've got ahead of ourselves, Chucky. 1. Please roll. All right, we have a total of 6. That is potentially dangerous. Let's make our flight check. We did degrade last time. Did I remember to change it? I did not. So we're going to a D8. We need a 5 or higher to not have any additional cost. We got a 2. Unfortunate. Let's go ahead and check our risky. We are going to lose a resource. Let's lose fuel. It just makes so much sense for traveling. Let's go again. Next location, please. D8. Another jungle. The last jungle planet treated us very well. Oh, we got a 3, so it's risky. What comes after Delta? Gamma? Gamma 1? Jungle? Risky? Is it occupied? A 4 is occupied. Let's fly over there, see who's there. There are signals coming off the planet. Obviously, there's something here. A flight check of 2d6. 9. Potentially dangerous. The flight is potentially dangerous, so let's go ahead. Ooh, we traveled last time. So our ship engine went down to a D6, which means we need to search for a 5 or a 6 on a D6. We're gonna have to do a rest soon. A 1 is a full-on fail. What did I say that this flight check was? Perilous, which means we need to come over here, roll on the cost, see how much peril we went to. 2 resources. We're gonna lose 2 freaking resources. What does this look like? We're traveling to another jungle planet. Flying over there. I'm gonna say that we passed too close to like a black hole and it started pulling on our ship because we just passed just way too close to it. We can hear the poor small ship that we have cracking and groaning. So we're gonna lose a structure as it starts to kind of make an odd sound as we're traveling. And because we were in that gravitational pull, we're using up rations because we spent way too long just steadily getting away from this well of gravity. And then we're here. We're planet side. Let's do a scan. Holy crap. Getting here was so dangerous. 2d10. That's a 5. We find a site! Okay, amazing. However, but an 11 and a lucky resource cache. Okay. Scan revealed. Revealed a site, a lucky, and a lucky resource cache. We need to also, now we have to also roll on our site table, which is a D8, 3 times. First one, a 7. We already got a quiet, peaceful reserve. But it is the jungle again. Oh, we're gonna do it again. Just for kicks and gigs. We got an ancient palace of a long-gone civilization. That's so dope. Site. An ancient... I can't spell apparently. Palace of a long on civilization. I before E, except after C, except never. Ancient? That's after C, and it's still before E. That makes me mad. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's find out how dangerous this site is to enter. It is risky to enter. And what does it contain? Give me, I would love it if we got something awesome at this site. I rolled a D10 and I needed to roll a D8. A 2! Archive plus loot! Plus loot. Not to mention, we also get another loot when we get here. Lot loot! Archive. Let's roll on our archive test here. We rolled all the good stuff first and none of the bad stuff. Archive is a 7, which is a laboratory containing potential stasis pods. There could be people here? We have to go in. Laboratory containing potential stasis pods. Okay. However, how dangerous is it to get in? Perilous, of course it is. perilous to enter. What is the reward? If an 8, a 7 is loot plus 1d3 resources. However, for the sake of the stream, so we can kind of see everything, let's say if we do it, we get 1 insight. All right. Oh, plus we also get a loot for discovering this place. Plus loot. Okay, but we did not do the first thing. We know that this location is occupied. So we need to discover what it's occupied by. D8. It is occupied by bugs. Makes sense. This is just the most common problem in the galaxy. And then nothing else. So we only have to deal with bugs. Let's learn about bugs. Well, we only have to deal with bugs in order to get planetside. The most common threat in the galaxy, bugs are hive mind life forms. Damn it. That seek to consume. Just consume. They tend to prefer consuming radiation, electricity, and other intangible resources, leaving organic matter, metals, and other elements behind them. The bugs spread by launching massive spore ships at celestial bodies. While traveling, they are dormant, only hatching once they arrive at their targeted planet. Creepy. This means encountering bugs in the void of space is quite literally the safest way to deal with them. Most intelligent species give planet-bound bugs a wide berth. The bugs are always aggressive and can never be reasoned with, as they only exist to consume. If you encounter them, tread carefully. They are more dangerous than one might assume for a non-technological species. Okay. All right. So their grouping is 2d3. We need to roll 2d6s. We've got a 1 and a 2. So there's 3 bugs, and their strength is risky. Occupied bugs. 3 bugs. Strength, risky. So we probably, special bugs always count as having an attack result on the initial reactions table. Any location that has bugs and resources loses its resources if the explorer ever returns to their ship. You get 1 chance, or the bugs consume the resources. Oh no, so we have to deal with them immediately. F. F, F, F. All right, I believe I have a little tool for enemy encounters. So go. The initial. Their initial is to always attack. So at full health, they're going to attack. How does combat work? Threats to the galaxy. Throughout the galaxy, there are many threats you might encounter. When you do so, it would be wise to consider your options. You might be able to take on some, but others will quite literally eat you alive. Enemies are indicated as following. Grouping indicates how many enemies come as a group. Okay, that made sense. We did that. Strength, this indicates the risk of any checks made by these enemies. If it has number in brackets, this is how many successful checks must be made before the enemies are defeated. So ours was risky 1. So we just have to succeed 1 time and we can defeat them. But we might have to do that 3 times. This includes any attacks, rules, abilities, and maneuvers that might do. Alright, so if we don't deal with them, maybe they mutate, or maybe they start with a mutation. Special ability, the bugs gain a mutation. I think we have to just roll that right now to see what kind of bugs we're dealing with. A 2, armor plated, change their strength to risky 2. Risky 2. Can I find brackets on my keyboard? 2, which means we have to get 2 successful risky checks in order to defeat these things. Well, I think first off, we're gonna just shoot them, right? We have our carbine, our assault one. Let's use our mil-spec and just try and mow through them first off. Let's do an attack. So we land the ship with Chucky giving instructions. The back of it opens, the sound, and she is walking down even as it's coming out. And these bugs like turn, they skitter, their mandibles click, and they start running towards me. Gray lets out a shot. This time she's not trying to scare them off. She is going for the kill. We rolled a d10. It was a 7. That is one of the successes we need. However, plus a d8, we are gonna probably take some harm here. They get to attack. If they attack, how do I know how much harm they give? So we attacked first, so they are at half health. So we get to roll and see what they do at half health. It's a standard attack, so they're gonna attack. I'm gonna say it's likely that they are going to damage me, so let's go ahead and roll it. It was likely, however, our roll was no. So they go, they land, they start like doing their whole like eating of energy, and they actually try and suck the power out of the shields of my ship first because they leave organic matter alone. However, even though they attempted to, they were unable, and I'm gonna go ahead and make my secondary attack on them. I'm going to still shoot with the same weapon. I think it's okay. I'm at a, oh, I could swap to my other weapon and reduce that. No, it's okay. It was D8. Let's go. I don't think it makes sense that she'd swap her weapon. Ooh, risky. This is a risky. I rolled a 4. I believe a 4 on the table is you succeed, but at a cost. Roll on the cost table. I'm at risky. We check one resource. So I'm gonna go ahead and say the shields. Rations. Those rations isn't actually food. This is going to be weapon rations. So I used a lot of ammo, more than I should have, in order to kill these last bugs. D6, my assault carbine is low. I spent so much, but these bugs are dead. That looked intense. Just like spinning. Some of these bugs are flying. They're all like landing on the ship. She had to get away from the ship so she could aim up, take down these guns. They're squealing. There is attacks. It's intense. However, the bugs are dead. Bugs are dealt with. Strike through. Whew! I can tell I've been talking for a long time because my throat's giving out. Archive. My bad. Site. This is an ancient palace of long gone civilization that is risky to enter. What does this palace look like? It's a jungle palace. I'm gonna say that this is built into the side of a cliff. So there is like very little places to access it safely. And what's going to happen is I have to somehow get up high enough. If there's no place to land my ship, I have to do like this very dangerous climb up the cliff using some of like the vines and things that are hanging down low. Ooh, that's gonna suck. I think that is gonna be a bash test because it's sort of like physical force. Let me check bash. Make sure I'm using that right. Who are you? So bash is wreck, move, or force. So that works absolutely perfectly. Ooh, but dash says climb. I'm still going to use bash because I think this is more than just climbing. You have to like navigate, and it's going to take like a lot of physical force and mind. I'm going to go ahead and use bash. We're going to roll a d10. This is risky. If I get a 4, we're going to get a 5. It's not going to matter. D10. Here we go. A 2. Okay. That's fine. On a 2, you fail and something wrong happens. Roll on both the complication and the cost table. The game says that when to make checks and roll, you determine how you overcome the obstacle and what attribute or gear you use when the game does not tell you. Then make the check. Okay. A 2. That's fine. Alright, the complication table is a D6. We rolled a 3. A situation's true nature is revealed. What? Alright, let's roll costs. This was risky. Oh, I could just roll it right here. All right, I'm going to do it next. The social environment shifts either to your benefit or your detriment. That doesn't really make sense. So I'm going to go with the first one that I rolled. All right, risky is check one resource. I'm going to say rations again, because I got stuck on my climb. And had to stay the night, maybe. And then, what was my complication? A situation's true nature is revealed. The path that I took was just straight up wrong. I got stuck. I had to stay in a cave overnight. It was horrific and cold and dangerous, and I didn't make it to the top. And now I have to start over. How are we going to do this? I'm going to use the sensors on a ship to try and map my way through. Because we need to get in here. We just have to. Let's roll our D8 on our ship. An 8. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and reduce our sensors on our ship. So we climb down, hike all the way back to our ship, into this grueling, humid, like spiny overgrowth of a jungle. Exhausted, she wipes sweat from her brow, angrily tippity taps, determined to get into this place. Then sees, okay, there's a path. The sensors have found one, the correct direction that I thought was I could find myself, but now further away, there is actually beneath the overgrowth, there were steps that were lined in that I can walk. So armed with my RARC carbine, because I can only bring 3 things with me, I'm going to bring Chucky and that carbine. Ooh, do I want to bring a comms upgrade? No, it's okay. We're going to bring these 3 things with us in our backpack, and we're going to head back up again. With the sensor, we have the success that we needed in order to get there. So let's go ahead and say that we were able to overcome this. Strike through. There's archive, there is loot. Let's focus first off on the archive. This is perilous to enter. We get inside of this place, this palace. There was like reinforced like plexiglass. It's like all fogged up from the inside. The doors hummed and then opened, and we just started walking through this. The moss and vines have really reclaimed this palace, climbing up the natural stone walls and then rusting away the metal fixtures. But a lot of this is like some kind of advanced form of glass, some like plexiglass that is incredibly strong and has stood up to the caustic environment here. But it also makes for just very surreal and kind of trippy, where you can like see through 4 walls, kind of, because of this glass. So she wanders through until she finds this archive, but it is perilous to enter. How are we going to enter this? Oh, I need to reduce my bash down to a D8. D8. I kind of want to use my weapon. Let's just do it. We're going to use the weapon. There is this same plexiglass. There's sliding doors and they're sealed together. And I'm just going to try and shoot my way through. D10, let's go. 5 or higher, 5 or higher. A 1 is a full ass fail. We're going to roll. We're going to use this time. We're going to do our complication and our cost. This place was perilous to enter. So we're going to go ahead and check a resource, and the social environment shifts either... a social environment, huh? Oh no, because there's stasis pods. Okay, so she fails to get in. Oh, this is gonna be so sad. So she sees inside of this laboratory that there are stasis pods in there, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go in. I have to get in there. I have to see if anyone's alive. Her excitement overtakes her, and she makes the stupid choice instead of the good choice. And she shoots it up with her, like, just trying to, like, break the glass enough so she could, like, get in. However, just... her bullets puncture small holes and go through, and unfortunately hit the computer, and like the stasis pods start opening. Like 4 pods open, and the bodies that are inside are like shriveled and this like mummified skin over bones. She was hoping that this social environment would be to her benefit. However, obviously that is not the case. And she used a resource. I'm going to say that one of her bullets reflected back towards her and damaged her shields. Yeah. Damn, that was rough. Okay, that's fine. So she's still not in. She's gonna try and think her way through. Okay, that obviously didn't work. Time to take our time. Let's roll this. It's a 6, full success, reduced think. Tears streaming down Gray's face. She sets up, connects her little wrist communicator, wrist comm to the thing, plugs in a little cord, deet. It takes a while. There's like this churning security code that she has to get through, but eventually it slides open and she is met with the dusty smell of mummies as she walks in. She will get loot, but she got inside. The stasis pods do not contain anybody alive, and we get an insight. Our first insight is a change. Okay, let's go here and discover what that is. Something changed with humanity, altering who they are, what they might be, and how they might grow and evolve. Oh, that's fascinating. Okay, so what happens is she goes in, and she, with tears still streaming down her cheeks, her gun hanging limply at her side with fingers that are barely curled shut enough to hold its weight, she staggers forward to these pods that are open and looks down on faces that she barely recognizes as human. The skin all has a tinge of like green to it, and not like an aging thing, but as if it was the actual color of their skin. And their eye sockets are much larger than she was expecting. They are all completely hairless, and it makes her recoil for a moment because she's like, is this human? But all of the data, all of the papers, they're all in the common human tongue. And anatomically, they still look human, just with these odd differences. Bewildered. bewildered, Gray gathers up her supplies and begins to head out. Okay. I think Gray has a long walk back down the winding stone stair steps from the palace to her ship, the Courser. She boards, ignoring Chucky's little chirps of,
"Wow, that was so interesting. Did you see the way those humans looked? You didn't look like that. I wonder why."
She stacks her loot along the wall, not even bothering to open it, really, and breaks Atmo. Jaw gripped tight and more confused than at peace, I think. Yeah, she got kind of an answer, but it definitely wasn't what she thought she was gonna find. And I think that'll be where I call this session. Wow, Cyan Starlight is just kind of packed full of feelings. Their technology enablement was super fun. It made the game like really easy to use. I hope that this playthrough gives you kind of a little bit of an idea of what this game is like and what kind of stories it can help you tell. Thank you so much to Alan Barr for making this game and to Add Up Icarus for publishing it. This game is available on Kickstarter literally right now. Deserves all the backing. It has well surpassed its goals and is absolutely 100% being made. So please go check out the Kickstarter. There is a link in the description below. And thank you for joining me on this devastatingly lonely journey through space. I hope you all take a long rest, drink plenty of water, and hug the people that you care about. Have a wonderful night. Bye.